What is up, guys? It's your boy Solheim here. So we've been playing phase 1 of Season of Discovery for quite some time now, and let's just say phase 2 is right around the corner. It's coming out early, mid or late January, or even early February. Basically in the next few weeks we'll have phase 2 most likely, and based on that I've been starting to do some phase 2 prep, which I want to talk about today. So in this video I'll be going through what I'm doing right now to prepare myself for phase 2, and what I'm doing now that will benefit me in phase 2 as well. So let's just get right into it. There's a bunch of different things to cover on several different aspects, so let's start with the most obvious one, flight paths. When phase 2 comes out, we'll have a bunch of new zones that will be relevant and new zones to quest in. So what I've been doing is grabbing every single relevant flight path as soon as possible. So as you can see right here, we have the flight path to Desolace, we have the flight path to Ferolas, we have the one in Ferolas over here as well, and we have this one in Tarnaris. This is just to have as many connectors as possible as well for every single flight path. So when I'm going to Desolace, we'll have the connectors to Desolace. When I'm going to this one right here in Ferolas, we'll have that one as well, and we'll have Tarnaris. Now, and Tarnaris is going to be useful for two reasons. First of all, we have 1000 Needles, which is a very good questing zone, and also because Tarnaris is a level 40 to 50 zone, and I do think Sulfurak will be relevant even in phase 2, unless they lock it for phase 3. So like, if Sulfurak is open, I think it's going to be very relevant. So having this flight path is good for Sulfurak reasons, open world farming reasons, fishing reasons, but also for Alliance, it's the closest one we have to the 1000 Needles, to Shimmering Flats. Horde has a free wind post, but we don't have anything there. We do have this one though, so we can have that one, and this flight path is also good to have because there's a quest over here that will take you to this flight path. So having this one is super good. Now there are two more flight paths that I could have grabbed in Kalimdor. We have the Ashara one and we have the Felwood one, but I think Felwood is too high level to be relevant in phase 2, and Ashara I can just grab at some other point, but same thing here, it's level 45 to 55. When it comes to connectors, I have all the other ones, so I should be fine. Now that's only Kalimdor. You should also think about Eastern Kingdoms, and well, you should already have Hillsbrad for going to SFK, but if you don't, then grab Arathi Highlands and Hillsbrad as well for Alliance, and definitely everyone should grab the one in Beauty Bay. That's a must-have. So Beauty Bay is really huge, and then just have all the connectors possible as well at the same time, just so you can fly to different places. The big one for me was definitely just running around in Kalimdor for a little bit and grabbing both Tarnaris and the Desolace and the one in Ferolas, just so I have all of those ready to go. So that took me about a solid 40 minutes, maybe more, but I would rather spend that time now and for going around gathering those flight paths than to spend that time in phase 2. So if you are lacking some flight paths that you think are going to be relevant in phase 2, go and get them now. It's going to be great. Another thing coming in phase 2 is the ability to use mounts at level 40. So what I would recommend here is prepare yourself now to have enough gold to get those mounts at level 40. That being said, you still get gold for doing quests at max level, so level 40 again. When you don't get experience from quests, the experience value is then converted to gold value. So you will get like probably 3 gold per quest, 2.5 to 3 gold somewhere, maybe 2 gold, so 2 to 3 gold per quest. So you can still get this at level 40 as well. But if you want to prepare now, you can do it now. So usually that's 100 gold for the mounts, but they have reduced the values, and they haven't really talked about this, but it's something they did for Season of Mastery, and it looks like that's still here in Season of Discovery. So talking to this guy right now, you can see the mount cost at level 40 is 36 for Chestnut Mare, so 36 gold for this one right now. And then you also have training as well that you can get for 9 gold, so 9 plus 36, so 45. That is with the reputation, I think, so it's 50 gold usually, and then reputation takes it down afterwards, so you can get like even cheaper, but 45 gold for most of us. So yeah, buy that. You can even buy the mounts now, I believe, and have them ready to go. So perfect. Actually, you maybe can't, but you maybe can. But you can buy the mounts, 36 gold, and then 9 gold for the training. So have 45 gold ready to go. Now, for the purpose of making gold in Season of Discovery, I've made a gold making guide for Classic WoW. This is for Classic Era, Hardcore, Season of Discovery, and any future version of Vanilla WoW. It's basically the ultimate Classic WoW gold making guide, which is also being updated on Discord to the relevant version. So when I was playing Hardcore, I made some updates on the Discord on how I'm making gold in that version, and now we are doing the same for Season of Discovery. So we found the BFD gold making trick, for example, the reset trick. We've also had 10 of my gold making videos be available in early access in that Discord channel. So if you're looking to get more gold in the season or any future seasons, or just want to make some extra gold by having early access to gold making videos, then please check that out through the link down below. It really helps me out, and I might be able to help you out. It's a win-win. So once again, the link will be down below, and you can even use code Solheim to get it for half price. Returning back to my Warlock though, let's talk about questing and leveling in Phase 2. So this is where my strategy might differ a little bit from other people's strategy, but I'm still doing the same thing. I'm pre-questing now to have a bunch of quests to hand in when Phase 2 comes. So you can see right here I have a quest log with like a couple of quests. I haven't done them all yet, but I'm still working on which ones I want to do and where I'm doing them. So I'm going to talk about the entire strategy here and what I'm doing. So I'm basically doing as many quests as possible, and I'm keeping the quest items in my bank so they don't take up bag space until Phase 2 comes out. So all of these items that I still have for these quests, they're in my bank, and before Phase 2 comes out I will take them all out and have them ready to go. So I'm handing in a couple of quests. I'm going to have a full quest log of 20 quests. Now, what makes my strategy different than other people is that I am not following a set guide. I am not doing level 25 to 27 in one go, because I'm going to dungeon farm. I'm going to be farming stockades at launch, either solo or in a duo, like 1-man or 2-man stockades. I'm a warlock, so I can still solo as well, but you pretty much want to do this. You can do 5 runs per hour. If you have a full 5-man group, you will reach lockout very soon. So you can't 5-man farm. Well, you can, but it's not efficient. You want to either solo farm or 2-man farm. If you do that, you can level so fast in stockades, it is absurd. So what I'm doing is I'm doing quests that are level 25 plus. That way I don't have to hand them in at level 25. They still give you full experience up until and including level 31, so 6 levels above the quest level. So I can dungeon farm until level 30 or even 31, but probably level 30, and then go and hand in quests to get to level 31 or 32 instead of doing 25 to 27. That's what I'm gonna do. So my leveling strategy is going to be like this. I'm going to start in Stormwind. I'm going to do stockades farming until level 30, either solo or 2-man, we'll see. So like farm stockades until level 30 by min-maxing 5 resets per hour, and when I'm level 30 or halfway into 30, basically when stockades farming no longer gives insane experience, I'm gonna hand in the quests that I have, and I'm focusing my quests around Stormwind first of all for all the stockades quests and the quest lines. We also have the Noble Brew in Stormwind, so we have a couple of quests in Stormwind that I'll be handing in first, and then I'll be going to Duskwood, handing in all the quests I have at Duskwood. Then I'll be going to Red Ridge, doing the same thing, and then I'll be using Hearthstone, and my Hearthstone is going to be in Wetlands. I will then hand in all the quests I've been doing in Wetlands, and then I will run. So I will run and do, like, for example, I'm going to be doing the War Banners quest, hand that in first. So like I'm gonna have this pre-completed and hand in War Banners. That's gonna give me one follow-up to do the catapult, and then another follow-up to kill the elite, which I'm going to do. And then we're going to go north to the Dun Mother and pick up the 2 quests here, the Sully Baloo's Letter and the Moonshine. And then we're going to go up to Rothy Highlands, fly to Hillsbrad, and now we're level 32. Now we're level 31 to 32, and we're in South Shore. Now I can do a couple of quests here, and then we can walk to Scarlet Monastery, assuming Scarlet Monastery is not locked, and we can start farming. So at that point we'll be in a full 5-man, farming Scarlet Monastery, maybe 4-man, 4 to 5 people, farming Scarlet Monastery on repeat, just doing this back to back, and leveling that way. So we're dungeon farming stockades, handing in all the quests we have, doing a couple more quests on the way, and then dungeon farming again. Ooh, I can't speak. And then dungeon farming one more time. And that is basically my entire leveling strategy. The only different part is that most people are doing quests now and will hand them in at the start to get to level 27 ASAP. I will instead just dungeon farm while stockades is good and hand in the quest later, because by doing quests that are level 25 plus, they will give you still the same value up until and including 6 levels above the quest level. Now there are 2 more things that I'm also doing, one of which is kind of obvious, but the first one is doing reputations. The first one here is getting your Azeroth Commerce Authority or Durotar supply to Honored, which I already have, so 400 out of 12,000. That way, if they add something new behind that reputation, you are good to go, and you already have the rep. So, in my opinion, do this now, get to Honored. That being said, they like the crates we have, they're tier 1 and tier 2, which means that when phase 2 comes out, we'll at least get tier 3, maybe even tier 4, which will then give vastly more rep than the ones we have right now. But if you want to just do it now and be done, that's great. But I'm just saying you can probably do it faster in phase 2 when we get higher tier crates to hand in as well. But you also have the PvP rep for doing Ashenvale. I would recommend you get this to Honored if you're a caster, and Reward if you're a physical DPS, and there's a couple of reasons for that, so let's just take a look at the rewards you get. So PvP, you can look at Honored for example, or let's look at Friendly. For Friendly, you get a trinket, which is really good by the way for casters, and you get one of those at level 20, and the other one at level 40. So you get a really good trinket upgrade at level 40 as well, by having this rep. Now at Honored, you get a necklace, back, and 2 rings. The rings are good for everyone. You have this one for strength and agility, and then you have this one for damage and healing for casters and healers. Then you have the healer cloak, and you have the sentinel's necklace for melee DPS or physical DPS. The thing is, once again, you have them again at level 38, giving even more stats. You even have them at level 28 if you want to have like a middle step basically, or a free upgrade at level 28. But yeah, level 38 you get some pretty good ones that are probably going to be pre-abyss in phase 2 as well. And then after the word, you get weapons, but the caster weapons, they're absolute ass. Like, they only give you mana per 5. So for a caster, I just CBA doing this. I don't think it's good at all. But the bow, the daggers, and the sword, they're always good to have. So yeah, you can get those. And speaking of the reward factions, you have SOD exclusives. So don't just ignore the levels here and the stats. We have level 25 versions for these. So you have the Lord Keeper's staff level 25, you have the bow level 25, you have the sword and the dagger also level 25. This means we might have level 40 versions as well, but even if we don't, we still have level 38 versions right here. So that's going to give you probably a pre-abyss upgrade that you can use until you get something better from the raid or from a high level dungeon. Now the last prep I'm doing is kind of obvious, but it's gearing. So just get the best gear you can, because the more gear you have, the faster you will kill enemies, and the faster you will level. It's all about the more output you do, the faster you kill the mobs, and the faster you do quests, or the faster you level from dungeon farming. More gear, more DPS, and faster levels. That one is very obvious, but once again, it is important. So if you haven't bothered gearing yet, maybe start doing a couple of BFD raids. It's super easy. Just make your own pugs, and yeah, super easy, and hope for some good loot. And that's pretty much what I'm doing on my prep. Very easy, but it's everything I'm doing. The pre-questing, gathering flight paths, having enough gold for the mount. I am doing way more than that, by the way, but I'll have a whole video talking about my gold prep for phase 2, because that would turn this into a 30-minute video, which at the moment I don't have the voice for. Yeah, my voice is barely working. I'm still sick, but I wanted to get this one out, and I wanted to talk about the general prep that I'm doing, so you can start doing the same, because some of this does take time. Doing all the quests will take time, and it's all about finding a quest routine that works. Like the Ashenvale quest I have here, I think I'll just be doing now, because I need to have the space to do wetlands quests, and then I have to go out and do them as well. So you want to have all this done ahead of time. Either way, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below, let me know your prep in the comments as well, and subscribe for more content in the future. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.